that this game plays out is identical to how I feel about Valhalla and Imposing Proxy. I feel like these two teams are evenly matched.
I kind of feel like Justus Pro might have the slight edge going into this, but as we get in the server here, it looks like Global Gaming got that pistol round, so they're starting off with the early lead.
They did. They're 2-0, and you're in, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm in. We're good.
We're in. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. We've missed 2 rounds, but it was worth it. That last game ended 16-14. You know, if I hadn't mentioned it already, which I did, go to CEVO.com, find out about the GXL and the CEVO Grand Finals. 2 days of LAN experience for you that you can participate in as a spectator or a player in the BYOC. That's all available for you online. Now we're going to do this. Bomb plant, take the site. Eco round call for Justus Pro that's like, oh man.
Yeah,
it sounded like such
we
a
guessed
good
wrong.
That one, like, damn it moment. Haunt is about to get sprayed down. He didn't even have a chance. He only does 29 damage total. Plank survives it, looking good. And with this smoke in their face, I feel like they play out the smoke and look for exits with 5 men alive.
It does look like that's what they're going to do. You don't see anyone entering the market. They're playing that passive look, like you said. And
more importantly, they're closing off the exits so that the T's die.
Yeah, they're going to die from the explosion or die to them and their pistols.
Which is happening now. We've got a very, 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 very careful attempt to make sure that nobody got TK'd at that point because nobody wanted to not be able to buy next round. Planks has a Galil, which I don't know if he wants to use. He will. I see he will. We're on to our gun rounds.
Don't know if I would keep that Galil, but he's going for it. Oh, okay. I thought Haunt actually was saving, but no, he does have an AK and they got full nades, so they can do whatever they please. That is Global Gaming Elite, and we're seeing an aggressive push here coming in from the middle area. I don't think he's not going to see it.
For the first time in my entire CSGO casting history, I'm going to start this. Ready? You ready?
Yes.
Well, welcome, new sub. Welcome. Yeah, it felt weird.
Okay.
Like good weird. Like I'm glad he's here. I'm just, you know.
I was gonna save it till after the game, but all right.
No, I got it. I really wanted it. I needed
Okay,
to.
no problem.
I just broke a virtual cherry of some kind. Anyway, back to Counter-Strike. This is getting weird. Flash in. Haunt steps in. He's got a teammate above him at the apartments. It's an attempt to split, but Flowsick drops mainline. I'm not sure if Flowsick knows that he didn't kill the guy. It doesn't matter. Planks hits a shot from that cinder block, that concrete block. Those can't be concrete, right? They look like clay. What are those?
Not sure. I'm honestly, I'm on Klaus's perspective, so I don't know what you're referring to.
The inaccuracy values of the Galil are completely a non-factor for Planks as he picks up a new weapon, an AK-47. He's got 69 in the bank. The rest of his team looks good. They are all building their bank accounts accordingly now, 3-1.
Yeah, they had a bunch of money, so they're able to buy out for their teammates, but in danger of saving on the next round. That was a really nice push in mid by Justus Pro. Schaefer, you saw he was zoomed in on the connector, didn't see it. It was almost blown, though. I mean, Schaefer, he didn't immediately die. He almost got the quick scope off onto the CT, but it just didn't happen, and from there, their offense kind of crumbled. So we'll see how they come back to... how they come back since they don't have that op pick going in mid to get that easy pick and get a good easy start for their round.
You're right that they don't. JMZ's got a nose for this B play, and he's got some sort of knowledge that this is happening. A double smoke. So convinced is he and his teammate that this is happening, probably through tape research or just tendency understanding of Schaefer's team, that they are completely committing to this defense. Know that there's no full rotate. It's just a really odd suspicion. Did he see? That's an easy PK death right there. He drops the smoke. They never threw it. Here comes the execute without the smoke that they probably would have needed. Now, given that angle, they probably wanted to throw it right out of the window to block off the car, but now they'll have to go in naked and just go with guns blazing. It seems to work. AGM doesn't care. Nades in, and that's going to do a little bit of damage. Klaus eats it. He goes down to 57. There's an opportunity missed by that one player up in the apartments. Doesn't matter, though. That nade will do equal amounts of damage. Schaefer's the last. He's up in the apartments, and there is his beheading. 2 rounds for Justus Pro.
And these rounds have been really good for Justus Pro. I mean, out of those 2 gun rounds, they only lost 2 people. both rounds. So they aren't letting go of their guns easily, not losing rebuys. Now Global Gaming Esports on an eco, so Justus Pro should be able to tie this up.
With the money that they have, I'm assuming that if you play this safe, and if this speed beat actually happens, you've got your opportunity here to really build up an economy beyond what you've got working with right now. You've got to try to save those guns. You've got to make sure that you play safe this round, and I think it's not going to work out the way I hope, because there's only one B defender.
I mean, the #1 man AGM is on Cat, so he can be there very quickly.
It looked like the underpass to me for a second. You're right, he is on Cat. It looks like we'll be okay. That spam spawn is actually now better eliminated by the wood planks that have been left there by the Valve developers. It makes the spam a little bit easier, but still didn't do too much damage. Mainline straights back out. He's looking for that player. Actually got aim punched. He had his crosshair directly on the head of his opponent. He just got robbed of it. 45 seconds remain, and still no dedicated execute, and Peter just makes Klaus a little sad.
Yeah. Come on, jump into this window. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly.
Children's book references are always good for violent, bloody games like this. I applaud you for that one.
You're welcome.
Oh, almost thought there was a TK there. 3-3 is your score line, and Justus Pro is doing exactly what they need to do, playing safe, playing passive, and making sure that their economy builds. Now that you have somebody sitting on 12, you have somebody sitting on 8, 7, 3, 4, somebody is going to do the aggressive peek and push to get a little bit more information to make the game tilt in their favor. This is when Counter-Strike gets a little bit entertaining, interesting, right?
Yeah, I mean, 3 rounds, 2 deaths. Like you said, their economy is looking great. No op being picked up from Global Gaming Esports, so I was going to say I think they're going to go for an A take, and it looks like they are setting up for some A set smokes for the most part.
Native.
Which we didn't see the beginning of this game, so we don't know how much time they spent in A, but I mean, this is another one of those scenarios where they're attacking without knowing the preferred playing spots of Justus Pro. Well,
we actually have. There have been single players on the flank, and that's been... Who was that at the time? Was it EasyPK who was just running around with a Glock at one point looking at the A player positions? On top of that, at the pro level, there's a lot of tape available, right? These demos are available on CEVO.com. You can see how people play Mirage, so when you go for that blind set piece execute, it's a bit different. It's a different story.
It is.
Flanks to withdraw. He'll wait for his teammate to help him. He's going to get an easy sandwich kill. I think they both saw each other. Over the top of the ticket, Flowsick picks up the kill, saves his teammate from certain death. Main line's in, and with team, will take over the site, but not before Flowsick got one more over the top of the ticket booth. Now that silencer right there had really saved Flowsick's ability to, or preserve Flowsick's life in that fight. What happened?
He was looking at the guy through, like, what the smoke was clearing, and he had his op out, but he decided to just switch to his CZ and gun the bomb planter down after he planted. A little bit strange, but I mean, they do get the kill and they do get the round, but that's just extra money for Global Gaming Esports. That didn't need to happen.
4-3. You know, I thought for a second that that was a completely blown strat. Flow 6 silencer, making it very difficult for anyone to hear and locate where you're shooting from, I thought was made that entire strat dead to rights, but the I guess Planks was just playing too passive. When his teammate opened fire, Planks was just not willing to come back out and help.
Yeah, I think he was concerned with the guy playing dark, but I do agree. I mean, that CT smoke, it's not really as effective anymore because people know you could just jump up onto the ticket booth and you got perfect vision, you know, spraying down into the site. So
I promise you, some teenager with way too much time right now is already building the smoke that lands directly on ticket,
or on the box that blocks off ticket and the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Nice shot. Easy PK will give the ugly haircut to Flowsick. Then Planks trades, and he'll probably get clipped and die on the way out. He doesn't. He makes it back out. AGM on the rotate will drop Schaefer. On his right, lurking him is Mainline. He's flashed, and that really, really breaks the heart of Mainline.
Where did that flash come from? Was it from JMZ?
It was from JMZ over the top of the wall coming from the catwalk. He assisted his teammate to enter into this bomb site. He gave himself a chance to go 1 versus 2 in the site. He got a blind T. And I think Klaus just made one footstep. One loud footstep. JMZ has to know. Doesn't matter. Shot's good. 4-4. We're all tied up.
Another back and forth game, it looks like, but Justus Pro's economy is still extremely strong after that. And, you know, Global Gaming, they're just building it up a little by little. They lost quite a few players in that round. And look at this, 2 Galil buys coming out. Schaefer, I don't know if he even has a gun. Okay, someone bought him an AK. So, still not able to wield that off. We saw Schaefer trying to get that pick in the 4th round with the op, but since then, no op has been able to get purchased by Global Gaming. That's how good Justus Pro has been doing at, you know, holding down their economy.
Look at this. Justus Pro, like you said, with their healthy economy, is pushing up mid. They've got planks with his masterpiece M4A1 all the way to the top. Information gathered, and now it's just a matter of figuring out which lane it is that all the T's are gathering in. The rotate back on the minimap shows that it looks like Justus Pro is leaning back toward A. Theoretically, this strat is dead in the water. Global Gaming Esports should not win this unless they pull off some miracle shots.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that the CT players didn't push more into the CT spawn, but I guess they didn't want to get sidelined by anyone rotating back out from B. But like you said, I mean, they're set up good for, I mean, very well for this A hold.
Or not.
Wow.
Schaefer and Hunt do not care for how much information they've gathered. No shots were hit. The smokes made it too difficult. Justus Pro, though they made the right play, is not looking great. 3 versus 2. Now 2 versus 2. 1 in the apartments, 1 in the site, 1 in the apartments by himself. It's Schaefer, who has played this position so many times, baiting the shot, and not, I'll be frank with you, not baiting it well. That was not just an elbow peek, that was a full body slide out.
Yeah, and both play, I mean, you know, James Z went for the defuse fake, which forced him to kind of look and see if he could actually pick up that guy, but James, he actually faked it. But, I mean, those flashes from AGM right there, from the E-Box, I mean, he flashed the player on the site, and then he also flashed Schaefer, who was in Palace. I mean, those really helped them take the site right there within the 2v2, and it was just a great play. Good hold. I mean, well, not that great of hold as Global Gaming was able to get into the site, but, I mean, good retake.
I suppose we credit the information gathering for that retake because those first entries from Global Gaming Esports were just really clean, like unbelievably clean.
Even with the bomb plant, Global Gaming has to save here, so that's gotta hurt.
Your quota that you're looking for at the pro level is 6. You're feeling good on the T side if you hit that 6 number, but I think they can do a little better considering how well and how close both teams are playing. Planks misses, and you don't have a lot of bullets to work with. He'll pick up maybe this kill as a gift. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I thought it was as well.
Yeah, easy PK picks it up. Oh, looking
nice.
good. You can't force this bomb plan, not necessarily. These CTs might not let you. Haunt can try. He's the last one alive. He's just barely got it, even through the pierceable box. He might win that. No, I thought he was going to win that PT50 battle. There's the defuse. 6-4. Justus Pro still leading.
Global Gaming Esports, though, I mean, even though they are, you know, Justus Pro has taken the lead by 2, they are looking a lot stronger than they were at the start of the season, and I think that's credited to the roster changes that they made. I think, you know, pretty sure they added Haunt, and he's actually been playing really well. So, I mean, they're looking a lot better, and now Schaefer actually, with that double save, well, not the double save, the save and the double bomb plant, he's able to get that up, and I don't know if Peter will be expecting this, but, I mean, PTR obviously a great opper in his own right, so he should be ready for it regardless. He saw 2 underpass right there.
Yeah. When it comes to Mirage, and it comes to offensive strategies for the T's on Global Gaming Esports, follow Schaefer when he has an op. He will be an isolated pick player, and he's not going to be an op support. He's not going to be an op mid control. He will be an ISO pick. He'll be in the apps. He'll be on the ramp. He's going to try to hit that entry shot for his team aggressively. Though this round may not amount to anything because their strat got blown up early. They've had to move to a plan B. Planks will drop Klaus right in the sandwich. And then in the cubby, a free kill. If Flo's sick, will aim. There he goes. Aww.
Yeah, and it looked like Schaefer might have been using that knowledge to his advantage. He went for the solo B main pick, and I think that's why they were forcing, you know, mid. I think if he got that pick, that would have forced it over-rotate from Justus Pro to B, and then they could have easily didn't execute to A and taken the site. Unfortunately, though, the guy's underpass got picked off before Schaefer could actually get into the B apps and get a pick.
So Schaefer's the last. Our number 7 man's in the palace. We'll follow him for the duration of this round with 25 seconds remaining. With armor, a smoke, and an op, and also a pretty, I think, pretty dangerous, dangerous 3-round losing streak. This op has to be saved.
Yeah, looking at their economy, I mean, they're going to be saving again, like you said. Excuse me. So yeah, he needs to save this, and since this is the second time that they've had an op after 11 rounds, I think he wants to hold on to it and get a pick going, like you said, for his team, and try to get an eco round win from that.
And we rebuy. In the freeze time, now we've got some deliberation to do. Global Gaming Esports can buy up weak around this op to support it and then maybe trade out guns later. They're seriously considering, but they will not. They'll go with luxury pistols, but where to? A split on B, perhaps. And if this op can come out to mid and hit this shot, we'll go to Schaefer. How about that? He sits on the window, and nobody will peek him. So back to the director. Oh, we have somebody slid out. Schaefer saw it in the after image of the flashbang. Flosick walks away with a very, very gamble, but I can't really even fault him for that. I think it was a gamble. I think it was a great one that he walked away with. So I guess I'll call that a good play. That's one of those. That's one of those like small genius plays.
Yeah, I think that's what Global Gaming Esports was going for. I think they were banking on Schaefer to get that mid pick and then smoke off the connector and then just take B by storm, because they had two people in the B apps, so they could have did a split of Cat and B main. Yeah, and you know, they get a little something there from mainline, but Floki responds in con.
We've got
Flosick,
one shot to hit. Schaefer hits it. Flosick is dead, and that bomb is now recoverable. 3 versus 3. AGM's having the hardest time hitting the M4A4 shot. He drops Haunt. 2 versus 3. But remaining T's, Mainline and Schaefer both have weapons. An AK-47 and an op. Peter, sure, I haven't been in casting for maybe 10 days or so. Has not struck me that he has been in the same form that we've seen him in previous seasons. His op just seems a touch off.
I gotta disagree. Since Justus Pro picked up PTR, they've actually been doing a lot better, and he's been a big pickup for that team, and really,
I don't doubt that his veteran experience would add to the caliber of the roster, to add to the quality of the roster. But I think I'm talking specifically one weapon that he has been less impressive with his op. Yeah,
yeah, but I kind of feel like he really hasn't been seeing that many terrorists so far this map. He's not just playing that stock mid position. He's kind of moving around. So that, you know, Global Gaming can't just know where the op is at each round and isolate it or smoke it off. And it's, you know, it's a smart play, but I think because he's doing that, he's not seeing consistent pick opportunities.
We've got a set piece for Global Gaming Esports right around bomb site A. Will they allow one player to go for a pick early? Maybe Haunt even it. The number 9 man at the ramp waits for that smoke to dissipate. Then he gives away the play that they're going for, and the CTs will just push back into positions that are safe. And again, AJam's up at mid. He's had a very hard time hitting close-range M4A4 shots twice in a row. Oh my god. Flosick out of A, and we've got a bit of a hiccup there. 2 for him. It's evened up. No, just kidding. It's 3 versus 2. A little bit of nerves, right? AGM's had... Oh, Schaefer with the high flick. Flosick's drop. Now 2 versus 2. A little bit of nerves for AGM, who's had a hard time hitting very, very easy corridor-type shots, like the B hallways, and right in front of him at mid, straight-on shot. Yeah,
his shots have been a little bit off, but, I mean, his nade placement has been really on for his team.
Sometimes you kind of wish that your nade placement is always just on. Like, I feel great when I'm throwing like perfect flashbangs. Oh, this trade-off of positions allows Klaus to drop JMZ right before Planks will trade him. Schaefer one-on-one, and he hits the piercing shot. Drops Planks down to just 66. Looking through the little... Oh my god!
Oh my goodness. How did Planks not get those kills? He had Schaefer's head in his crosshair 2 times right there. I kind of feel like Schaefer got off a little lucky there. But, I mean, it was a beautiful shot, regardless.
Yeah. That was gorgeous.
I was on Plank's perspective, actually. But
no.
Yeah.
Be on the director. That was an amazing shot.
Always good to the clutch, man. Come on.
No, it's not a clutch man until the bomb's planted. You were wrong. Was it
down? Yeah.
All right, I just kidding. I just wanted you to see it because
I love seeing flick shots with the op, so I am sad I missed it.
yeah. So now that you had that perspective, just from one Counter-Strike perspective to another, was he shooting through the little pallet?
Yeah, he was. He had all you could see was literally Schaefer's little head with the sunglasses on, and it looked like a perfect headshot, but it did not register.
Last one alive, and Schaefer gets chased out. Blanks will shoot him in the back, 9-5. If the half ends 10-5, it's not the end of the world. Global Gaming Esports is still very much in this. You have, I think, a standard split for Mirage, but they like this one, even if it is a huge, painful-looking eco.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be 10-5. I mean, that was a great round from Justus Pro. No ops that round, but they still made it work with their rifles, excuse me. And now, yeah, Global Gaming has to save. I mean, they do have plenty of nades to get an execute going. It looks like they're going to be favoring B for the most part. Might go underpass. Yeah, it does look like they're going underpass, so I'll change that up. So we'll see what they do here. Maybe a window boost.
Control mid play. Yeah, 2 to the top of mid at the back old shipping container. Now it's just a junk pile. What is that call out? I'm still using Mirage CE call outs, or the Mirage CS source and CPL strike call outs.
Talking about shipping?
Yeah, shipping.
That's what I call it.
That's always going to be shipping. Easy PK up the connector stairs, gets spotted, but may not hurt him too badly if he can just get into the right corner, and PTR is going to get this one. They've got someone spying the window, and Flosic has to know somebody's really close. He saw the shadow and players spying him.
Oh, AGM.
AGM on the big flank gets the, not even a piercing kill, just a direct headshot. He's dropped Klaus and Schaefer, but Mainline and Haunt have traded back 2 versus 2, and now they can collect guns. JMZ and PTR ended quickly. 10-5 is your halftime score. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cott. My partner is Klops. Thoughts?
I mean, it started off very close, but Justus Pro, they essentially, they got the economy lead, and they just took it to Global Gaming and suppressed them for quite a bit, and they ended up with a 10-5 lead. Not to say that Global Gaming can't come back from this. If they get the pistol round, then they should be right back in the game.
Schaefer saying that he no-scoped, but I can tell you definitively that he did not.
You saw the scope go in.
It was a quick scope, not the quick scope that you see that you think I'm referring to. It was just a fast scope.
Mm-hmm. You just see the flash of the scope, and then
yeah.
I know what you mean. Oh, I wish they had the quick scope from which was actually not even a quick scope. You know what I mean? Where you just right click and then left click immediately, but you don't actually see any scope.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
You know the complaints with that. It didn't take enough skill. It was pretty much just point and click, and everyone dies.
I guess.
After this, our giveaway, we have mouse pads, 2 of them, and they are what, Zowie?
Yeah, and it's gonna be one is gonna be for subs. Do we want to both for subs?
Yeah, we probably should, but I did say that we could give 1 to followers.
Okay, well, this time we'll do 1 to subs and 1 to followers. So, if you want, I guess the better chance at winning it, then go ahead and click that sub button. Directly supports the casters, and we appreciate it greatly.
No, we do. We do. Here's our second half. And before we get underway, let me just tell you that this is the part 1 of a doubleheader of P games featuring Global Gaming Esports. After this, Area 51 comes onto the stage.
And I mean, I gotta say, I feel like this is going to be a gauge of whether or not how Global Gaming is going to face off against Area 51. I know it's going to be on Inferno, but still, I mean, just looking at the caliber of teams, if you can't beat Justus Pro, then it's going to be hard-pressed to say you could beat Area 51.
Did you see that?
I don't know what that was.
Incendiary grenades are expensive, and Mainline just threw one at his own feet and at his teammates' feet. I can't justify that ever.
They have 2 more. Klaus and EasyPK has 1 at least.
Okay, all right. Execute and flash off the wall. Haunt will attempt to peek. He gets a nice looking headshot, then drops back into the site. JMZ responds with the 1-1 trade, and he'll walk into fire. He barely survives it. Comes blind around the corner, still knocks down Haunt. That's good enough for him. One from CT. One from the connector. One from jungle on the retake. It's going to be tough sledding. Mainline gets it. Mainline just doesn't care. Now when you plant on pistol round, it's very, very easy to get those shots over the top. There's no dink in this one, right? You've got no head armor, so you've got to just make your shots count when they can. Schaefer's the last one. He's on top of the E-box. And he'll charge. He has to. The bomb now ticks. There's going to be no way to clutch this one unless he sticks that defuse. Justus Pro won that one, and it felt like they won that one seconds ago.
Yeah, and you know how I said that if Global Gaming wants to round, they're right back in it, then I kind of got to say if Justus Pro wins it, then they're probably going to run away with this game. I mean, they're going to probably end up 13-5 unless Global Gaming comes up with an amazing eco. And if they do, I mean, you only got to win 3 more after that, and the deficit that Global Gaming is facing, I don't know if I could see them coming back from that. But
I'm entertaining scenarios. What I'm actually doing is the mental math, because you give up this, you go into your ecos, it's the CT economy. You're looking at 13-5 at the end of this one. Can they even make a mistake after that? Yeah, maybe once.
If they lose the gun round and they don't win eco here, if they lose the gun round,
the scenario is this. Yeah. No. The scenario is this. You keep on winning. Let's say Global Gaming Esports gets up to like 11 rounds. They have 1 to cushion them. They could lose that round. But you're right. It's the odds, the probabilities, the players that they're playing against, AGM, Peter, Flowsick, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Flowsick drops Schaefer, Klaus, and Mainline are the last 2. I will point out that I have been impressed with Klaus's performance. I've never actually seen him play. Can I be honest? I've never seen him.
No, he is a new addition to the roster, but I mean, yeah, he's been playing pretty good. I mean, 3rd in terms of frags for the team, so he's been doing a great job for Global Gaming Esports so far.
1 alive, it's Klaus. He's got to try to clutch with the CZ or back off and look for exits, which is probably the more likely case. But I don't think it's going to happen because Flowsick's waiting for him. 12-5.
I mean, nice job by Justus Pro to only lose 1 person in that round, losing 1 rebuy. So maintaining their economy lead and not giving anything to Global Gaming Esports on that round. So, that's what they need to do to keep a good economy going. And so that if they do lose the gun round, they should be able to buy on the next round and still have a shot at not seeing the comeback.
Most importantly, and we've gone away from talking tactics about splits and executes and the concepts of how to do each and everything, it is just the emotional shock, right? You've got this deficit, and the numbers that you're looking at, 12-5 or whatever, 13-5, is just you've got to ignore that. And as an in-game leader, for us in our old teams, I can tell you that it's hard to get yourself to compartmentalize and just think 1 round at a time. It's even harder to get 4 other players to think with you on the same wavelength. And for now, it's kind of working. It's a little bit working.
Yeah, I mean, they end up coming out with an eco here, so that's good for them. They do get some extra money. They're going to be able to obviously buy, and they can afford ops if they want to. And Justus Pro, actually, their money is a little light. I mean, JMZ, he can't buy. They could try to force something here. If Floki buys him a Galil, he could probably pick himself up an AK.
A pretty rare double op look on Mirage. You'd see a
we
double
saw
scope.
It from Justus Pro last half. Only 1 round, though.
Yeah, you do see double scopes. You tend to see op and Scar, but you don't normally see double op on CT for Mirage. I'm going to check out Han's position.
He's at A.
Probably one of the 3 viable positions, of course.
Yeah, I feel like usually if you do see the double scope look, it's either mid and B for the most part. A is definitely very viable. But yeah, I feel like B is probably the more popular choice.
We're waiting on Justus Pro's late execute on bomb site A. We'll take a look right now. I'm going to fly into the site, and Klops will mimic my movements to look in exactly where these players are aiming. The positioning of the players, not yet prepared to throw those smokes. We're probably having Planks throw the jungle. We're probably having Peter throw the E-box. And maybe 2 others that we can't determine. The CT's already...
It's got to be a CT smoke.
They have 4, though. And if you're on an eco round, you don't...
Oh, it's a failed E-box smoke.
Yes, it is. They don't know it yet. They'll figure it out right now. Oh, no. Well, let's try to make it work as best we can. Klaus is shutting down everyone. He's a human spinning aimbot machine. Easy PK robs his ace. No joy. 12-7.
And this is when Global Gaming, gets that boost of confidence. They see the deficit is closing. They got that really important eco. And now if they pick up this round without letting a bomb go down, it's going to force Justus Pro into another save. So, I mean, they got some... they got something to look forward to if they get this round, essentially. Then they're back in this game.
If I can Americanize and butcher this, the art of the Tao, or if I wanted to do this correctly, the art of the Tao, compartmentalize and think only on the things that are immediate and important to you. Global Gaming Esports are doing that, and then making horrible mistakes, like Schaefer peeking with an 8-out. Was there a... I'm still thinking. My silence is me thinking. Was there a purpose for his nade peek?
I actually missed it. I got a notification that I looked at. I won't lie. But nade peek, I don't think there's ever a purpose for a nade peek.
Well, I'll tell you right
if
now,
you ask me.
He came out of catwalk, had a smoke or something thick.
Maybe he was expecting a flash from someone at connector.
Well, he would have waited for that flash to happen. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it was too aggressive, and it was probably a mistaken peek that he got punished for. Klaus drops AGM, who tried to come out of the apartments, and Flowsick will drop mainline, so leaving that last player in A that they know is here, and they're gonna let him try to do his best Shroud impression, which doesn't work. Justus Pro has 13.
So it's not over yet for Global Gaming. Obviously, they have plenty of money to buy. Excuse me. And Schaefer, I mean, Klaus can buy Schaefer an op. If they choose to go that route, he does. And so, Schaefer can come up with a good op pick mid if PTR doesn't get him first. Which, it looks like PTR is actually going to... playing that passive role, expecting the aggressive push from Global Gaming.
I like the idea. Global Gaming Esports is bound to make some sort of aggressive mistake these days, right? In this time of the match with this round count. It's the right call. Now, if he sits on it for too long and the clock runs down and they lose their execute potential because of it, and then we start having a different conversation.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if Justus Pro does get this round, then Global Gaming will be on a save, and that will be pretty much match point for Justus Pro.
Flowsick waits, and in the underpass, will move in. You've got to be executing, and all of Global Gaming Esports is playing this pretty passively. JMZ picked up a kill off screen on Klaus. He's dead, and then the trade. Schaefer hits JMZ in that crease pick. They'll drop out of B. That bomb is still rounding the corner. It's out at mid, but since there's no mid vision, the two CT teams are just siloed. Yeah, I call them two CT teams. They're two separate bomb sites with no lines of connection until Haunt comes back in. And this is critical. As long as he wins that battle, this round is still alive for them. Global Gaming Esports need it. They run back. Justus Pro does back toward despawn, toward A ramp. It'll be a final commit at 25 seconds.
Yeah, look at this though. A is pretty much open. I mean, you only have Haunt solo defending because he's preoccupied by the guy in mid.
Now we have a CT player. We have two at the E box or jungle, depending on how you interpret. The rotates are on. We have action in. Mainline waits. He could pick up the double. You can't even blame PTR from running up the bomb out because the clock was down. Like we said, that round. That round. PTR. He starts with the off, plays passive. The entire team plays passive, and then the execute takes too long. You die with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, and that was good by Easy PK coming to help Haunt because, like I said, he was initially distracted by the player in mid, and that was his role. I think it was AGM who was in mid, and had he kept Easy PK there, I mean, I think Justus Pro would have been able to enter the site and just take out Haunt very easily, and they would have been able to get the bomb down. But since he came to help, that delayed them, and that allowed for that rotate from main line to CT spawn, which ended up winning them that round towards the end. Are you muted?
Oh, I am muted. How do you win this one? You play back, of course. You need to build up your economy if you're Global Gaming Esports because you can't really afford to go into an eco after losing a run around. If you're in a situation where you have to eco after losing one round, you've pretty much given the game to Justus Pro. So I would really appreciate if I'm the IGL of GGE, just tell everybody, Can just play as far back as possible, please. This round, just don't even do anything silly. Don't peek. Don't get yourself killed, and we'll walk out of this one alive.
Yeah, and you see Schaefer is actually playing that cap position once again with the op. I don't know if I necessarily like that. I feel like the op is being underutilized in that position because you're essentially waiting for someone from mid to go to that cubby position, which if you know Schaefer is playing that spot, you're not going to go there.
And looking for pre-fires. Peter has two. Haunt is down. They've got one more at the E-box section. He's stuck behind the smoke. Now cutting off the rotator. Main line is dead, and PTR is on an absolute rampage, just running through, destroying all things in his path, even cutting off flankers and rotators. You can see that elbow. Actually, we could. I don't know if he could. He gets shot in the back, and now he figured it out, but it might not even matter, because coming through that little closet hole is really hard to do. So Klaus is dead. Now the last one alive is Schaefer. We go to him. Our LMS is about to get knifed.
He almost got his head taken off because he came around the corner with a flash out, and Floatstick was right there. But I mean, Floatstick pretty much forced him out of the site, and now, I mean, that gives Justus Pro the round with Schaefer having to save this op now.
Schaefer doing his best Pac-Man impression, running back around the site, just moving through these little lanes. He's got 3 HP, but he makes it out. So 14 to 8, and like we said, the scenario is you have to build your economy to the point where you cannot, I mean, okay, so let me rephrase that. You have to build your economy to the point where if you lost, you wouldn't have to eco. Well, guess what? You have to eco, and now I wasn't ready to say it earlier, but now it feels like the game is over.
Yeah, and this kind of goes back to what I commented about last round about Schaefer's positioning, where it's a very passive look. I feel like you want to, since he has the op and the rest of your team is ecoing, I want to get him in more of a role where he could actually pick up kills instead of just waiting for someone to come to him.
1-1 on the trade.
He went for the aggressive push, but Peter with his passive look on mid, it worked out for him.
I guess your statement about Peter being validated through his play universally, including op, trumps mine because he's been very good. The last round was just a rifle rampage, but this round,
yeah, it's pretty much been in the week and a half that you were gone. They picked him up, and he's been playing really good for him, and pretty much been turning around how the team has been looking. So they've been looking a lot better, even though that, like I said, they're undefeated. I mean, they're still looking very strong.
They picked him up in a week and a half. What?
I think so. Unless I'm wrong.
Leave for 10 days, and then League of Legends is all up in your game, and PCR is on Justus Pro. I don't even know things anymore. Not a whole lot left to do for these two retakers. There are 4 Ts alive in the site, and not too many opportunities to get out of the jungle. So they'll probably play for the long-range tie, which is not ideal, but the only recourse. Ow.
Ow. I like that one.
It's just, you see that shot and sometimes you're just like,
yeah.
ugh. Klaus saves the op and small token of consolation, but we're on to the tie point. Justus Pro has 15. Coming up next, Global Gaming Esports takes on a even bigger juggernaut, a steamrolling even Area 51 team that's been not necessarily winning every game, but looking better and better each and every week. I'm very entertained each and every time, just every time I see them.
Yeah, and I mean, that was an interesting round because, sorry to ignore the Area 51 comment, but I mean, that was a save for Global Gaming Esports, and it looked like they had to save again. I mean, you see the op being picked up and some force buys here, but yeah, 2 Famuses, a couple M4s, but I mean, their money range was in the 3K area, and so they're buying a little light here.
They will. 1 round to stop defeat, and all the way to the end, Global Gaming Esports must win out. Bomb moves up to mid, single lurk player. That's AGM inside of the palace. Mid control to control the window. Haunt is almost dead. He gets shot down to 4 HP, and then he moves out of his position. Maybe a late Raptor day. Might not even have to happen. Do we see that force boost again? I'd like to see it. It's a nice risk to do. And a flash in.
Yeah, I think, well, since PTR was essentially watching it, but Haunt was ready, and even though he only had 4% health, I mean, he was able to get that kill and get the slight advantage for Global Gaming now.
He's still breathing, and he's still contributing to his team. 4 HP is still map control if you're alive in there, but just don't get naded. Justus Pro can smell it. They'll play it passive, letting Global Gaming Esports make the mistakes, but down a man with 30 seconds remaining, their hand is forced. So they'll split on A, they'll start to take, and if they hit this shot, which JMZ now misses, they'd be in business. Now he gets a second chance at it, and AGM picks up one that's in the sandwich. Klaus is down, and through the CT comes the first rotator, who will be definitely blind if he doesn't flick that flashbang. He does, and he's dead. Just one more to go. Main line to save his team. No good. 16
touchdown to finish.
Your final score. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. It's time for giveaway.